What is going on, everybody? What is going on, D-Catch fam? You guys already know what time it is, baby. Another 2022 fantasy football mock draft coming your way. Hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight. Hope everyone is having a great week. It's Tuesday night. We're going to talk some fantasy. We're going to have some fun. Going to hop into mock draft through ESPN. Super excited. Stoked to be here as always, guys. You know what to do. Hit that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. And let's do it. I'm going to wait till, let's see, I want to find a mock that opens at 11 that's a little bit open. Okay, this is standard scoring. I feel like that doesn't really make a huge difference. Oh, these are filling up quickly. I wanted to, well, let's see. Where's the time? Okay, these are all at 11. All right, let's see. Pro. Oh, God, these are moving quick. Here's one. It's got tons of room. This way, if any of you guys have an ESPN account and want to hop in here, you can. I'm going to randomly select pick 8. Okay. Let's edit our team name here. You guys know what we got to do here. The catch. Let's see. We've done Bob's Burgers logos the past, like, 3 nights. Cats and dogs. Yeah, we got to represent for the cats out there. This looks like my cat. She's always angry, so we'll roll with that. Save changes. And there we go. Back to the draft room. So, yeah, if you guys have an ESPN account, feel free to hop in here. I know Derek on Discord was saying that he may do so. This draft will start right at 11 p.m. Mr. Sarcastic, what's up, baby? What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here tonight. Good to see you. Justin here might pass out, but I got the stream running. I appreciate that, bro. It's good to see you, man. And appreciate you being here, whether you're about to pass out or not. I always like to pass out to a stream. It's a relaxing way to end the night. So hopefully I can be like a lullaby for you there, bro. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, sharp, we've got our subscriber mock draft for the week. At the moment, we've got 2 spots open. I will go ahead and send that link in the chat there for you guys. And, of course, that link is posted on Discord as well. Mr. Sarcastic's in the building at pick 4. Let's go. So, yeah, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Steve and I will both be on here for our weekly subscriber mock draft. Should be another good one. Always a good turnout. A great draft all the way through each and every round when we do draft together as the Catch fam, so to speak. So, I'm excited to be here. Excited to run another mock draft. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Come join the Catch fam, baby. So close to 1,000 subscribers on the road. And here we go. We got a full draft room. Derek, I'm sorry. This filled up before 11. I thought if I hopped on here early, it would give people more of an opportunity. But that filled up pretty quickly. But Derek's in the mock draft tomorrow, so we should be good to go there. But we will be running a little sneak peek for those of you who are on here tonight, hanging out. First week of June, my plan is to run a subscriber mock draft every single night. And the way we'll do that is I'll post the link on Discord an hour before the nightly stream. And then we'll hop on at the same time, theoretically. Life's a little crazy. But theoretically, at the same time every night. And then we'll get the draft filled out, and then we'll start. So we will have plenty of subscriber mock draft opportunities coming up here shortly. It's already almost the end of May. I feel like this year is flying by. This off season is flying by. Just super stoked, man. Fantasy season is right around the corner, and I could not be more excited. So, yeah. All right, we got pick 8 tonight, drafting in 2 minutes and 15 15 seconds. So last night we talked about that kind of bounce back method, going running back, receiver, running back, receiver, running back, receiver, just filling out skill positions, then drafting a late round QB and a late round tight end. And I thought our team turned out really, really good. We ended up drafting 2 late round QBs and Matthew Stafford as well as Derek Carr. Then we got 2 late round tight ends. And, who did we draft last night? Did I get Dawson Knox? No, I missed Dawson Knox. Anyways, I'd have to go back and look. That's my dad brain working for you guys. Tonight, I want to do that same method, but end up getting, just one QB and maybe another, one tight end. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. Ronald, what is with this new format change? What do you mean? We're a sleeper channel. I'll accept adding Yahoo in the mix. Yeah, last off season, we basically drafted through with every format. Sleeper, is kind of purely for those subscriber mock drafts. Where I can easily invite you guys and everything. So ESPN's been popping up a little bit lately, and then Yahoo as well. And NFL, we haven't done this current offseason, but we did last season as well. And then I need to mess around with Fantasy Pros. I know a lot of people like their format as well. So just a little taste of everything because a lot of people do, use different formats. Derek, we missed you, man. So I was talking about you at the beginning of the stream. I'm sorry, man. I thought if I hopped on here like 5 minutes before and I picked a later draft that was empty. When I joined this draft, there's only one other person, and we just missed you, man. So now I know we have the subscriber mock draft tomorrow, which I know you'll be a part of.
Welcome to the best day of the year. Draft it.
Every time. I can't avoid that. Every time I get yelled at by the noises. Derek, we'll see where I'm at the end of this draft. I can tell you guys right now I'm running on less than 6 hours of sleep. And I tried to take a power nap, and it just did not happen. But we'll see where I'm at the end of this draft because I do feel bad. My plan kind of backfired on me there. I thought we'd be able to get you in on this one, so I'm sorry, man. I really am. But we'll see where I'm at the end of this draft. And I know we have the subscriber mock draft tomorrow night as well if tonight fails. All right, Justin, I like Sleeper, but majority of my leagues are in Yahoo. I feel like I like Sleeper and Yahoo for like non-best ball formats the most as well. Let's see. Ronald, that's why I use Yahoo, but everyone uses Sleeper to mock. Yeah, I like kind of switching it up. We've been heavy on ESPN this week. Smoke at the Cat. What's up, fam? Can't join tomorrow, but we'll catch up with the stream after the mock. No worries, man. Appreciate you either way. All right, so we got JT, Cooper Kupp, CMC, and Austin Eckler off the board here. Ronald says he's fresh off a nap. Derek, it's all good. I will draft tomorrow, but I'm sorry, man. I really am. Did not mean for that to happen. My strategy to get you in here backfired completely. Yeah, Ron, power naps are they're the key to life. I have slowly figured that out. I kind of took a power nap after I burped the baby and held her up for a bit after she ate right before her bedtime. And I don't know. It was more me just passing out from lack of sleep. So anyways, we're here. We're drafting. I'm excited. And yeah, Justin's saying I like seeing the different ADPs. It is kind of nice to see where different, how drafts turn out on different sites too, and to see those different ADPs. But to Ronald's point, I'll make a point Thursday night to do a Yahoo mock draft because it has been a couple of nights as well. And if you guys want to do more mock drafts, through the channel and with me and with each other, just have a Yahoo account ready, have an ESPN account ready, Fantasy Pros, NFL, whatever. I mean, I know that can be a pain in the butt to make a ton of different accounts, but I like to kind of switch it up and then keep the 100% subscriber mock drafts to Sleeper. So if that helps you guys out. All right, let's see. Justin Jefferson at 5, Derrick Henry at 6, Jamar Chase at 7. A good mix of running backs and receivers there. I'm going to go Najee Harris at 8, and I'm not going to look back at all. Feel great about that selection. So at 17, we're going to go receiver and just kind of bounce between skill positions. Ronald, the key is like 45 minutes exactly. If you drop over an hour into the deep sleep, it hurts more than it helps. But my nap was 3 hours this time. Yeah, for me, yeah, it's 30 minutes to an hour, no more or no less. I agree with that point 100%. All right, so pretty typical first round. Let's see who's available. Yeah, I mean, I would say this is basically your consensus top 8, maybe not the exact order, and I would have CMC a lot lower personally. I love Joe Mixon going here at 9. I think that's a great pick. I think you could argue Devontae Adams into this top 10. There goes Dalvin Cook at 10. I'm fine with that. I would probably take Cook before CMC. I mean, I'm massively scarred by having CMC at number 1 overall last season. But for me, I just don't have him there. Ronald, I'm not taking CMC in the first, so I won't get him. I think I'm with you, man. I have him probably closer to the top 15, but he's going to go probably in the top 10 in most leagues. Ronald says Dalvin Cook 10 is late. Yeah, I would definitely take Dalvin there way before. I mean, the other player that they've got Tyreek Hill at 14. I mean, Debo's at 7 on ESPN. Those are two guys that obviously have gone kind of in the top. Travis Kelce is the other player that they've got ranked down here at 30, who in some formats is much, much higher. There goes Debo at 11. I mean, I would probably take Kamara before I take CMC, to be honest. Ronald saying the man came and played with the shoulder brace, killed it, so at least I know if he gets hurt, he'll do anything to play. CMC is all soft tissue. He doesn't play through anything. Yeah, I mean, for me, I just have, like I have fantasy scars from Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I have fantasy scars from Lamar Jackson as well. Those two guys, great fantasy players when healthy, as Devontae Adams goes at 12 and Debo goes at 11. But, it's just hard for me, man. Ronald, there's zero chance Kelce lasts past the second. I don't necessarily disagree with you, man. Tyreek Hill 13, Alvin Kamara at 14. I think the only circumstance where Kelce, you're saying through or past the second round. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I guess in a smaller league, obviously he could go earlier, but the only other circumstance is if, Mark Andrews gets selected first, and oh my gosh, we're gonna land Stephon Diggs at 17. I'm very happy with that. As we continue this method of bouncing between running back and receiver, Najee Harris is my RB1, Diggs is my wide receiver 1. I got no beef with that whatsoever. And there goes Swift at 18. But yeah, maybe if Mark Andrews goes, maybe tight end lasts till the mid-second round and Andrews goes as the first tight end, maybe you see Kelce fall to the beginning of the third. It's going to happen somewhere out there. But at the same time, you'll probably see leagues out there where Kelce goes between 8 and 10. I mean, last season he was getting picked at picks 4 and 5. So, you could really see those high-tier tight ends, for me, Andrews and Kelce, go anywhere from the first round to the beginning of the third. But to your point, I think you're right on par there, that he's not going to last in a majority of leagues past the second round. Mr. Sarcastic, drafted McCaffrey back-to-back years, can't do it again. Yeah. I only drafted him the past year, and I feel like I can't do it again. There goes Kelce at 21. Little run on running backs, Williams, Connor, then Kelce, Jones, Akers, and T. Higgins to finish out the second round. Moving into the third round, we've got Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, 2 receivers in a row, and David Monty. So for me, I have to go running back following suit with this method. At 32, I'd be happy. See, I don't know why Nick Chubb is ranked so low on ESPN, but I think he's a steal at pick 32. If he gets selected beforehand, I'll go Josh Jacobs. If Saquon's laying around, I'll go Saquon at that point. Just go upside, even though he's speaking of players like Lamar Jackson and CMC, and no, Saquon scarred a lot of fantasy managers last season. If he's not hanging around, I'll go Zeke. I mean, why is Zeke ranked at 41? I don't understand that. All right, so there goes Mark Andrews at 28. Saquon's at 29. And there goes Nick Chubb at 30. So he's not going to be on our roster. Let's see here. I don't think Andrews will pass the second either. You can get Kittle in the third to fourth. Yeah, I love Kittle's value as well. All right, we'll go Josh Jacobs here. Ronald, does the sound any better now? Echo canceller just went nuts. You're deaf getting your ears and the mic right now. I have music playing, so maybe that was part of it. Let me know if it sounds a little bit better though. Sorry guys for any audio issues. We had a really good run where there was like no audio issues, no technical issues, no video issues. So it's about time that something popped up. All right, so we got Najee Harris, RB1, Josh Jacobs, RB2, Stephon Diggs, or wide receiver 1. We're going to go receiver at 41, and we'll see what happens here. I got a little better. You're still getting the inbox sound, but no echo now. Okay. I'll kind of have to play around with it after the stream, but I apologize if the audio sounds whack, guys. Smokey, been getting Zeke at the 3-4 turn. I feel like he should be an asset. Yeah, I mean, he was a top 10 fantasy back last season. There goes Waddle, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, and Gibson. J.K. Dobbins, Pittman, Waller, Metcalf. So I got to go receiver here as much as I'd like to go Zeke. But we're going to follow suit with this method. I'm going to pick Scary Terry. I think McLaurin's a beautiful wide receiver too. Ronald says, I don't get the Zeke hate. I don't either, man. I mean, it blows my mind. I feel like the Cowboys as a fantasy offense are just being really, really underrated. So through ESPN last season, he was RB7. I mean, he was a top 5 pick last season as well. He's just holds extreme value, right now. All right, wow, we got a lot of auto picks here. So round 5, we got Kyle Pitts, Eli Mitchell, Chris Godwin. And I'll be going running back at 56. For me, it's probably ETN who I target here. I just think he's the best value. Then we want to go receiver and then probably land A.J. Dillon later on. We're trying to follow suit with this method of bouncing between running back and receiver. But you could also look at who's available here. And, like, when we look at tight end, George Kittle being available at 56 is just really good value. And we go back to running back, and it's like, I think we have to sway away from, this true method of going running back receiver, replace a running back with a tight end and George Kittle, and then go receiver at 65 because it's just too good of value. I mean, Kittle at 56 in the 5th round in a 12-man league, I think is phenomenal. So, we'll take a note. We went Kittle over a running back, but looking at the running backs available, I just don't think ETN or Patterson or CEH hold as much value. All right, we'll bounce back to receiver here. And there's a lot of good receivers. Cortland Sutton, Drake London, Hunter Renfrow, Devonta Smith. I like all these guys. I'll take a little bit of an upside play in Cortland Sutton and hope that he works out with the Broncos. But I don't mind Devonta Smith, don't mind Hunter Renfrow. You guys see me take both those guys in plenty of mock drafts. And with this next pick, we'll go back to running back, and we'll go for A.J. Dillon. Then we'll go for another receiver, and then we're at that point going to have to take a QB as well. Ronald keeps autocorrecting after I send. Autocorrect is one thing, but don't do it after I send. How bold and intrusive. Ronald says that's crazy good. Yeah, I just don't think I can pass on Kittle there. All right, we're already into round. Holy crap, we missed like a whole round. I'm sorry, guys. Round 7, we got Brady, Renfrow, Rodgers. There goes A.J. Dillon by Mr. Sarcastic himself. Damn you, you bastard, man. All right, so let's see here. Let's look at QB. We're going to wait one more pick to go QB. We have to pick a running back here. For me, it's between Damian Harris, Michael Carter, and Tony Pollard. I feel like those probably the best committee approach players. I'll go Damian Harris for tonight's stream. I think any of those guys are pretty much in the same tier for me. And then we'll go QB here. And then to finish out, we'll just bounce between running back. We need to pick a receiver next to follow that method. So you kind of just slide in a tight end and QB at the right times is another way to think of this approach. And I think at this point, with the QBs available, we need to go ahead and pick one, whether it's Russell Wilson or Matthew Stafford, to kind of secure an elite type QB, and then we'll move on from there. All right, there goes Russell Wilson. So last night we ended up with Matthew Stafford, and tonight we end up with Matthew Stafford. I don't really have a whole lot of beef with that. So I'm good there. And then at 104, we're going to go receiver. Smokey, I do the same every time I want to follow a pattern, but at the end I can't. Yeah, and I think it's okay to follow a specific strategy. It's okay to follow a specific pattern, so to speak. But if the right players are falling to you, then you need to pick up those players right away. Don't let your roster suffer just because you want to follow a specific strategy when better players are falling to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's totally okay to go that route. All right, and Ronald says, never follow any system 100%. You got to be malleable. Yeah, I agree, man. And so, really, you look at the running backs who are available, it's like George Kittle holds far more fantasy value than any running backs that were available at that point in time. And we still landed Damian Harris, who you could argue holds just as much value as a CH, Cordell Patterson, or a Travis Etienne as well. All right, so following suit, we have to go receiver here. For me, looking at who's available, it's probably Bobby Trees for me because I do think he has the potential to be a wide receiver 1 or at least a nice slot wide receiver 2. Treylon Burks can truly step up. So we're going to go running back with this next selection. For me, I don't mind James Robinson, but I'll go Melvin Gordon, although I do think Javonte will get plenty of carries within that offense, probably more than last season. Let's take a wow. Dawson Knox available. If Dawson Knox available at 128, you guys know I'm not passing him up, man. Wide receiver 2, but a good one. Yeah, and I kind of agree with that, Ronald. I would like him to be a wide receiver 1, but I think in terms of him being a wide receiver 2, he ends up with a lot of receptions and kind of a security blanket for Ryan Tannehill, where Burks is going to be more of that upside type player. Hey, Derek, and anyone who has an ESPN account, this mock draft is going pretty quickly. A lot of teams went on auto, so it should still give us a pretty good idea overall, of course. But at the same time, if any of you guys want to hop into an ESPN mock draft after this, I should have time to do another one. Dawson Knox did get selected there, so he will not be our tight end 2. Yeah, this is going pretty quickly here at the end as Knox and Carr are off the board. Who auto picks a mock draft? Yeah, it looks like they just bounced for some reason. What's the point of that? Smokey says he'll join the next one. Yeah, if you guys want to put together another one, I'm happy to do so. All right, Tyler Boyd, great receiver, in my opinion, at this point in the draft. And now we're going back to running back. And for me, it's Algier or Madison. Be happy with either guy. Wait. Oh, there's Algier. Okay, I'll go Algier here. And then we need another wide receiver. For me, it's probably George Pickens or Tim Patrick. Unless Mr. Sarcastic picks one of them. I'll go to Cube Darrell Henderson, J.D. McKissick. And that's really it for running backs. Let's take another look at tight end. I feel like with Kittle, it's not a bad idea to draft a second tight end, considering that he missed time last season. But I just don't really feel like I feel like any of the tight ends available right now could end up on the waiver wire and be a move, during the season. So for me, I'd rather pick a potential upside QB as Tua just gets selected. Maybe a Zach Wilson here. I feel more confident in him than Justin Fields. Carson Wentz is an okay QB too, as is Matt Ryan. Mac and cheese is kind of interesting, but there's no one here that necessarily presents quote-unquote upside. So it's probably smarter for me to go Alexander Madison here and stray away from, switching between running back and receiver and get the last or one of the more valuable handcuff running backs here and then go for a receiver with this next selection. For me, I'd like Tim Patrick, but if he gets selected, maybe go with a Ced Wilson, a Van Jefferson, Rondell Moore, some nice upside between those guys, but Patrick's available. So kind of wish I went Hunter Renfrow or Devonta Smith over Cortland Sutton, being that we were able to land Tim Patrick late in this draft, but at the same time, I'm not upset either way. So, I think that this method worked really well. I'm going to try it again in this next coming draft as well. So, we'll just finish out with the defense and kicker for this mock. Prey, what's up, baby? What's up? I was repping 135 no spotter and almost got crushed. Got stuck on my chest and seen this TikTok how you sit up with the weight and push it off. Well, I'm glad you didn't get hurt, man. Gotta be careful with that. If you're not confident, always use a spotter, man. So I'm glad you didn't get hurt. Does audio sound fine, guys? Just let me know if the audio starts to act up again. All right, I'm going to go defense here. For me, it's probably the Patriots. I mean, let's take a look at kickers. I don't know, man. Matt Gay is actually, pretty intriguing here. But in terms of defense, let's just go kicker. It doesn't really matter to me. Let's go Matt Gay. And then let's see what defense falls us at 185. Ronald says it got much better now. Whatever he did fix it. Okay, good. I'm glad, man. That was worrying me. All right, glad we went kicker because we still were able to land the Patriots defense, and it's a good looking team. I thought that this strategy so far is, I think it's working out pretty damn well, actually. You have to rate my team. I don't know if it will work. Yeah, I'll rate your team, my dude. We'll start with your team. Patty Mahomes at QB. Let's go. So Mahomes are only QB. Running back, you got Eckler and Dillon. Isaiah Spiller. So you got your handcuff to Eckler, theoretically. You got Zamir White as a late round pick and Gus Edwards. I think two good late round picks there. Receiver, Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman. DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Watson, Jahan Dotson, George Pickens, and a lot of rookie receivers in there, but I like that. Hopkins will provide, some nice stability whenever he does come back from suspension. Then I think Bateman, hopefully he can step up. I mean, between Bateman, Watson, between those two guys, you should have someone who can step up. And then even, between Jahan Dotson and George Pickens, have someone who can, play, in solid fashion as well. So I think he'd be fine at receiver, but really where you got the upside is Kelsey and Andrews. I love that, man. And I love the combo of Mahomes and Kelsey as well. Rams defense, and then Money Mac. I mean, yeah, it's a good team, bro. You're going to have some things work out between running back and receiver there, but it's still a good team nonetheless. All right, who'd we end up with? Where are we? The catch. Okay. Matthew Stafford's our QB. I'm fine with that. Najee Harris, Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris, Melvin Gordon, Algier, and Madison. I'm perfectly fine with that running back room in a 12-man league. Receivers, we got Diggs, Scary Terry, Cortland Sutton, Bobby Trees, Tyler Boyd, and Tim Patrick. Perfectly fine with that receiver room. Almost wish we went Renfrow, Devonta Smith, I don't know, Adam Thielen, Drake London, whoever else was available when we selected Cortland Sutton, just because we ended up with Patrick. But at the same time, I'm not too upset there. Tight end, we got Kittle. I'm fine with that. Could have gone to the second tight end. We just didn't really see that same value. I mean, maybe we could have got Dawson Knox over Melvin Gordon or Bobby Trees, which, either way, I'm happy with George Kittle. Go for a tight end throughout the regular season. He falls to the waiver wire and go from there, right? Matt Gay, Pat's defense. I thought this team turned out pretty good, man. I'm liking the strategy, so to speak, so far. All right. Let's get us another one put together, guys. If you guys have an ESPN account and you want to join, go ahead and get ready. Let's go ahead and hop. This is starting at 11:30. I'm not looking. I'm picking Team 6. and we'll go from here. I feel bad. I don't know if Derek is still in here. Derek, if you're in here, man, we're drafting again. You'll have a chance to hop in here. All right, let's see. I'm going to try and pick this. Let's go Mickey Mouse. And is there a football one? Oh, there it is. Yeah, baby. All right, you guys should see my name in there. Mickey Mouse, the catch. This filled up pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. So if you guys want to get in here, you probably don't have a whole lot of time. There's literally one spot left. Wow. Okay, it's full. That did not work out how I thought it would. Man, people are really mock drafting like early this season. Ronald, I love that issue, but I saw that issue by never exercising ever. Fair enough. Pray, I got a bruise on my chest from barbell hitting it. Yeah, you gotta be careful, man. But now you have a battle scar. Mr. Sarcastic definitely would rely on the bench players to get a solid 8 to 10 points a week and have Mahomes, Eckler, and the 2 tight ends carry. Yeah, that's one way to do it, man. Smokey, I really like Jacobs this year. It's crazy to go at the 13 and 16 picks. Sometimes he doesn't make it till the end of the third. I like Jacobs too. Ronald brings up the point on a consistent basis. He's in a contract year. He's got something to prove. Offense has improved. They should be in the red zone more often, although Adams is going to be a red zone target, as is Waller. But Jacobs, man, tough, gritty running back, plays through injury, plays well in the red zone, and I think he's going to have a good season. He had a fine season when healthy last year. So, Spencer, what's up? What's up, baby? How you doing? How's everyone doing, man? Hop in the live chat. Let me know what's up, man. Come say what's up. Let me know what's popping. Hit that like button for me, man. If you're new to the channel, of course, hit that subscribe button. Come join the Catch fam as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, talking fantasy, drafting with me tonight. Appreciate you guys being here. Smokey made it to Team 9. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ronald, I really think Renfrow takes half of Waller's TDs. Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, I'm kind of there with you. I feel a little bit more bullish overall on Hunter Renfrow as opposed to Darren Waller. I'd rather get Renfrow at the price that you can get him as opposed to drafting Waller as a top 5, top 6 tight end and the price that you have to pay for him. So I'm with you there, man. I like Renfrow overall a little bit more. So it's going to be an interesting year for the Raiders. I mean, I thought that, trading Bryan Edwards was interesting. I thought he would be a great wide receiver 3. It'll be interesting to see if anyone else steps up on that offense. Zay Jones made an impact, in the second half of the season going into the playoffs. He's obviously gone as well. So it'll be interesting to see if someone steps up as, a wide receiver 3 on that team. But really at the moment, Waller's a wide receiver 3. And, White, the rookie they drafted, is kind of might get some receptions out the backfield. Kenyon Drake wasn't really relevant last season. So it's interesting, right? Because Josh Jacobs not really a receiving type running back. So I don't know really how many receptions are going to be made out of the backfield. So at the moment it's Adams, Renfrow, Waller. And I'm with you, man. I'm a little bit more bullish on Renfrow overall. And especially from a fantasy perspective where you can draft him, his price is much, much better as well. Ronald, you can get Goddard 2 to 3 rounds later. I think he is better. I agree. I'd rather have Goddard at the price you can get him. I'd rather have Dawson Knox at the price you can get him. I'd rather have Mike Gesicki, as long as it's full PPR, at the price you can get him as well. And I know Waller was injured, but all those guys were, higher, scored more fantasy points and, ranked higher last season than Waller was. But obviously Waller missed a lot of time, so it's not really fair. But, yeah. Do they still have Deshaun Jackson? I don't believe so. I believe he's a free agent because all Edwards did was field stretch. Yeah, Edwards started the year really well, and he had 3 touchdowns called back in the first 2 weeks, and then he still had a good season on paper, but yeah, it was they just didn't trade him for a whole lot, So I didn't really understand that. I felt like it was a better move to just keep him. Mr. Sarcastic, it was a stupid move to trade Bryan Edwards. Yeah. I kind of agree. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Because he had a good season last year. So, Smokey, guys, I just had a 5-player parlay for $500. Let's go, baby. Love to hear it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, man. Love to hear that. I'm hype on it. All right, so we're going to try this method. Once again, I'm enjoying this strategy, so to speak. Running back, receiver, and we're just kind of feeling it out and drafting a tight end and QB when we feel appropriate. And I feel like that's the best way to conduct this strategy, and then just go back to running back, receiver to finish out the draft. And if necessary, draft a second tight end, if and when they fall at the right place. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't know how necessary it is to draft more than one QB. I feel like the 2 QBs that I want a second QB with, and when I say second QB, I mean like a Derek Carr or a Kirk Cousins. Worst case scenario, I'm talking worst case scenario, Carson Wentz or a Matt Ryan. For me, it's Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson. Kyler because he's always hurt in the second half of the season, and he's been hurt the last 2 seasons. And that just worries me. And then Lamar because he scarred me last season, and I'm not over it, and I'm worried that he might do it again this season. I don't think that there's really any other QBs. Like, at this immediate moment, Deshaun Watson's in that conversation because we don't know how many games he's going to miss potentially. But for me, that's just about it. Maybe Tom Brady, maybe Aaron Rodgers being up there in age. But that's about it. If you get Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, maybe
welcome to the best day of the year. Draft day.
I can never avoid that. Maybe Russell Wilson, you put in that same tier with Rodgers and Brady. Age, Russell was hurt last season as well. Maybe Stafford, but a majority of those guys, if they're your QB1, I don't see any reason to draft a QB2. Like, you're going to start those guys on a weekly basis, right? All right, there goes JT at 1. Surprise. That was probably the most awkward thing I've ever done on stream. I just took a sip of tea, and there was like a little piece of tea that came out of the tea bag. It was just like floating. I had to get that out. Okay, let's move on from that. All right, pick 2. Cooper Kupp all the way down to the last second there. All right, so pick 6 here. We're going running back, following suit with this bounce back method of running back receiver, letting the tight end and QB fall to us. So for me, I'm just going to pick the best running back available. It'll probably be Najee Harris again. There goes Derrick Henry at pick 4. There's a possibility that JJ or Jamar Chase go here, and they don't. So I don't know, man. Looking at running back, we could go for a running back. Let's do that. Let's switch it up. It's still the same method, but we're going to go receiver, running back. So let's go JJ here, and then at 19, go running back and see what happens. Potentially land a Joe Mixon. I'd be really happy with that. Potentially land a James Conner. We'll kind of do the opposite, go receiver, running back. The last 2 drafts, we've gone running back, receiver, and then we'll still let a tight end and QB fall to us within this draft as well. All right, let me pull up the pick history here. All right, so Najee at 7. If I did go running back there, it's Najee. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's Najee at 6, which I have no beef with, over Justin Jefferson as well. And I just think, to put it out there, I do think it's probably better if you're going to do the strategy to go running back, first, because I think it's far more likely that a very valuable wide receiver 1 falls to you in the second round, and it's much more unlikely that a valuable running back's going to fall to you there. So, all right, we got Dalvin Cook at 9, Diggs at 8, Chase at 10, Debo at 11, Kamara at 12. Moving in the second round, we got Adams at 13. Ronald, I usually have a backup QB. My main one has an early bye. That's a really good point as well, Ronald. And probably something to think about as we do have, we know our bye weeks now. And does ESPN still not have them on here? Because it's saying Justin Jefferson's bye week is 0. So that's kind of unsettling. But I know most of the other formats have them. So no Joe Mixon at 19 for us. He gets selected at pick 14 by Frank. And then Tyreek Hill goes at 15. So for me, I'm hoping for James Conner or Leonard Fournette. Very, very possible that both those guys go. If they do, I'll go Javonte Williams at 19. And then we'll move from there. There goes Leonard Fournette. Ronald, if the buy is like 9 or late, just leave it known. I can get one off waivers for 1 week. Yeah, that's a good point to bring up as well, Ronald. All right, so we're hoping for James Conner. It's very, very likely that he goes at 17 or 18, though. There goes Swift. Let's see who else is available. I mean, he's a top-rated player. This guy went Najee Harris, so it's possible he goes receiver here. It's possible he goes running back. Who knows? Maybe he wants a tight end or Josh Allen. I don't know. But he went Aaron Jones. He did go running back. I'm going to go James Conner all day long. Let's go. So at 30, it's going to be really tempting because I do think that there's a possibility that Nick Chubb or Josh Jacobs, they'll probably both be sitting there. But once again, like with Nick Chubb, like it looks really nice on paper, but I just think that's, exclusive to ESPN drafts. Like you're not going to see Nick Chubb in the 3rd round. I'm sorry. You're just not. So maybe it's better if we don't even pick Nick Chubb and we just stick to the method receiver, running back, and follow suit with this strategy. Okay. CeeDee Lamb at 20, Kelsey at 21, Saquon Barkley at 22. We'll kind of sit back for a second. Javonte Williams at 23, but we're going to have some receivers in mind here as we move into the 3rd round. All right, so we got the final pick of the 2nd round coming here. And we'll see what happens. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight, man. Been a great stream so far. Man, taking our time. I do feel like if you have, those back-to-back picks, it is smart to take your time. Because you can basically know who you want with your first pick, then take a lot of time to decide your second pick. So he took Josh Allen at 24, then he took Mark Andrews at 25. Both very good selections. There goes Cam Akers at 26. This is going to be tough, man. Because I really want one of those running backs. If you go receive, but let's just follow suit with the strategy, and we'll see what happens. That's what these mock drafts are for. We just came off of a really good draft before this draft. We had a really good draft last night. So we'll see what happens. And, we're not going to pick another running back till 43. So it's possible Zeke's there for some reason, but we'll probably end up with like a Eli Mitchell. So I would say, once again, that I probably prefer going receiver. There goes Nick Chubb, so that makes me feel better. But still, Monty or Josh Jacobs, I think, hold a lot more value. Monty, Josh Jacobs, Zeke, I would really, really, really prefer here. Okay. For me, it's between Mike Evans and Keenan Allen, looking who's available. I love Jalen Waddle, love A.J. Brown here too. Don't mind Pittman, don't mind Metcalf in that tier. I would probably put DJ Moore closer to Scary Terry and Deontay Johnson, just with shaky QB situations. Let's go Mike Evans. Don't mind Keenan Allen. Don't mind A.J. Brown. Don't mind Jalen Waddle as my wide receiver 2 behind Justin Jefferson by any means whatsoever. But we'll go ahead. We'll put Mike Evans on this roster and we'll move forward. And we're going to be eyeing a running back at pick 43. Monty's off the board at 31. Patty Mahomes at 32. Josh Jacobs at 33. Keenan Allen at 34. Whew. Yeah, I definitely think going running back over receiver in the first round is the way to go with this method. But I still think that this is going to end up being a pretty good team overall. So we'll see what happens here. So we got to go running back at 43. We do need to just keep in mind, let's just queue up, these couple of tight ends that I like. And let's just keep an eye on tight ends as well, just to know who's available. Because we want to, let a tight end fall to us, so to speak. All right, Michael Pittman, A.J. Brown. I won't be surprised if we see a little bit of a run on receivers. Maybe a Justin Herbert, a Kyler Murray start to be sprinkled in, and then a couple of this next round of tight ends as well between Kyle Pitts and George Kittle. I would expect them to start to go pretty soon. But last draft, Kittle lasted till round 5. So there goes Zeke. So he's not going to be on this squad. But Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins, Breece Hall, and Eli Mitchell still available. Those are absolutely my next targets. Yeah. Once again, I would feel a lot better, just backtracking. We could have gone Najee Harris at 6 over Justin Jefferson. And I think in the long run, I'd probably be happier. But once again, we wanted to try going receiver, running back tonight as opposed to going running back, receiver. So we'll survive here. All right, so for me, I'll go Eli Mitchell at 50, at pick 43, and I'm happy with that. I like Mitchell. I don't think he should be ranked this low. I really don't. Missed some time last season, but 963 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. When he was healthy, he played very well. So we'll see how this team turns out. And there goes Scary Terry. Let's just look who's available. Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, George Kittle, Kyle Pitts. I'll go Mitchell here. I think he's the most valuable running back available. Dobbins is a fine pick. Breece Hall is not a bad pick there as well. So at 54, we're going to go back to receiver unless, I'll say this much, if George Kittle's available or Kyle Pitts are available at 54, I'm not going to pass them up. Ronald, I'm really worried about Mitchell. I know you are. Because I never had the same lead back 2 years in a row. It's a fair point. Shanahan is, I think at this point in time, worse than Bill Belichick in terms of the fantasy running back carousels that he hands to us. So I can't really argue against that. Okay, there goes Kyle Pitts at 53. We're on paper to pick another receiver here. But I'm going to go George Kittle. Like I said, when we're doing this method, bouncing between running back and receiver, when the right tight end falls to us, we're going to pick him. And I think that's the right move for this team. I'm going to keep an eye on Dawson Knox, though. And then with this next selection, we're going to take another receiver. And then we do need to keep an eye on QBs. We're in pretty good standing. I'm going to be a little bit more worried when Burrow, Wilson, Rodgers, and Stafford are the final QBs. I don't think we're going to be able to land a Jalen Hurts or a Kyler Murray, although obviously they provide a lot of nice upside. Looking at running backs, after picking at 67, A.J. Dillon's a guy that I'm going to need on this team, and we'll just kind of sit back and see what happens here. So Chris Godwin goes at 55, Amari Cooper goes at 56. All right. So I do think that this method works really well. I mean, we've been talking about it all night and last night as well. The last 2 drafts we did, we went running back, receiver, and you just kind of repeat. And then we've kind of smoothed that out and just found that keep an eye on tight end, picking the right tight end at the right value is the best way to do it. Where last night we targeted 2 tight ends and 2 QBs, and I felt like we needed more skill position players on the team. So the last draft we did, I thought, turned out really well. Even when we went out and drafted 2 tight ends and 2 QBs last time, I felt like it still turned out as a very good team. And then since Justin Jefferson was available in this draft, we went receiver, running back, and I do feel like this roster could work so far, but I do think it's going to be a little bit weaker overall. I mean, at least the upside is going to be at receiver and not at running back. So I don't think it's going to be a bad team, but I do think that, going running back early is a little bit smarter for a lot of reasons. All right, at 67, I'm going to go Darnell Mooney or Hunter Renfrow, and I'll be very happy with either selection. Devonta Smith, I'd put in that tier. Cortland Sutton, Drake London, don't mind those guys here as well. Treylon Burks, be fine. For me, I want Renfrow, though. I'll tell you that much. Number 10 last season. Mooney's number 23, excuse me. Devonta Smith's number 30. Thielen was on fire till he got hurt. Hopkins going to miss some time. Was hurt last season as well. For me, it's Hunter Renfrow. I don't care if Adams is there. I don't care if Waller's there. Kyler Murray just got selected. Let's go Hunter Renfrow. And then at pick 78, call it a reach, man. But I'm going A.J. Dillon. And then we're going to see who we can, in the 8th round, we might have to go ahead and take a QB. There'll be plenty of late-round receivers that I'll be happy with as well. I mean, looking at this receiving room, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Hunter Renfrow, I got no beef with that whatsoever. I do feel like A.J. Dillon is the most valuable running back available. We'll go ahead and queue up a couple running backs because we are going to have some committee approach players, some 50-50 type players, handcuff players, whatever you want to call them. And I do think we can still land some pretty valuable running backs as well throughout this draft. Plenty of guys that I like still available. So we'll kind of see what happens. But I want A.J. Dillon on this roster. And looking at the running backs available, I just don't know how long he's going to last. So I think we go running back at 78. Then we take our QB in the 8th round. Then we finish out with some receivers and some running backs. And we finish out this draft. Maybe we throw Dawson Knox in there as well. I think that this is going to be a good roster either way. All right, there goes Devin Singletary into the 7th round here. Yeah, I think that Dillon's my pick here as long as he's available. And that's a big reason why I haven't been as high on drafting Aaron Jones is because on paper, Dillon and Jones' stats weren't very different last season. And you can get Dillon at a much, much better price in my opinion. All right, so let's go A.J. Dillon there. And let's keep an eye on QBs. Tight ends are still pretty deep, so I think we can hold off. We'll see what receivers are available at 91. I don't think Devonta Smith will slide out, but if Hopkins or Thielen are there, I will pick one of them and then go QB in the next round. I think that they're worth it. So for me, I mean, we still got plenty of QBs available. Brady, Rodgers, Wilson, Stafford. I guess that's not plenty, but I think it might be just enough. And if we don't get one of them, we're kind of screwed. So maybe we do need to go QB. We'll decide in a few moments here. All right, Drake London's off the board. Hawkinson's off the board. Treylon Burks off the board. Tom Brady's off the board. Aaron Rodgers off the board. We're probably going QB at 91. That's probably going to be our move here. Yeah, I don't think that's making me sweat a little bit. Smokey the Cat's in this. Where are you at, bro? I kind of forgot. You got Herbert, Cook, Fournette, Judy, Smith, Schuster, Jacobs, Treylon Burks. A good-looking team, man. Cook, Fournette, and Jacobs is nice. Going with some later-round receivers. Justin Herbert as your QB. I like it, man. I like it. Let's see here. Tony Pollard. Yeah, some of these committee approach running backs are going to start to get ate up pretty quickly. There goes Devonta Smith, Garrett Wilson. Oh, we're on the 8th round. And so we pick at 102 as well. I like this receiving room we've got, though. Jefferson, Evans, Renfrow. The running back room's not bad. Connor, Mitchell, and Dillon. Like, it could still work out. So Smokey goes Goddard. Chris Olave's off the board, and there goes Zach Ertz. I'm going to go QB here. We picked Stafford last round. Let's go Russell Wilson. He is on tonight's thumbnail, so we'll go Russell Wilson. There goes Matthew Stafford immediately after. Probably have them right in the same tier. There goes Hopkins, so we're not going to get him. Really, with this next selection, as this draft finishes out, I think we're just going to pick the best available receiver or running back. And we might throw a tight end in there as well. We've gotten George Kittle in the last two mocks, which I'm fine with, but he did miss, a good amount of time last season. So, that worries me to some degree, I guess. Looking at running backs, it's all committee approaches, handcuffs, 50-50 type guys. at this point. Receivers, you know, there's a lot of receivers available that provide some nice upside. That could be wide receiver 1s or at the worst wide receiver 2s. And guys, just don't forget, in today's game, wide receiver 2s are extremely valuable and ridiculously valuable when a wide receiver 1 goes down. So like I don't have any beef going out and getting them at this point in the draft. So Adam Thielen gets selected there at 96. I think that's great value. And let's just kind of take a look here. There's really all kinds of guys we could go with here. So I think I'm just going to go best available player to kind of finish out this draft. All right, Kadarius Toney to start the 9th round, followed by Christian Kirk. And we'll kind of sit back and see what happens. Bobby Trees at 99. Rashad Penny at 100. Claypool at 101. I'm going to go receiver. I'm going to go Ayuk. Give me Ayuk. Wide receiver 2 or no Debo. I like him either way. All right, there goes Michael Carter, Chase Edmonds, Alexander Madison by Smokey, Freiermuth, Deshaun Watson. Looks like we got some teams on auto pick. Running backs are basically dead. There goes Hunter Henry by Sustache. I like that name. So tight ends pretty dry as well. Running backs dry. Receivers we're moving into completely different tier. QB, Derek Carr, the last man standing. Carr and Cousins for me. Lance, some nice upside. I'm not quite there in drafting Trey Lance. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac and Cheese. We got that whole class hanging around. Tua Times up there. Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Davis Mills. I'm sorry. I did not mean to not include you in that sophomore class. Davis Mills, you are an absolute monster. And I apologize. All right, round 10, we got Russell Gage, James Cook, Kenneth Walker off the board. Smoking the Cats on the board. And he goes Michael Gallup, a really, really good value pick at 112 in my opinion. All right. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. There's some players I like here. This is really tough. This is a tough pick, man. Some running backs I like here. I'm going to go running back. I think that this roster needs it, and that's following suit with their method. Receiver, running back, and Christian Watson and Sky Moore were really hard to pass up there. I'll say that much. Even Jahan Dot. I mean, there's just some nice upside in rookie receivers hanging around as well. But we need another running back, and I think Melvin Gordon's the most valuable running back. So I'll happily take Gordon there. Christian Watson was hard to pass up, and so was Sky Moore, and they both got selected immediately. Ronald, sometimes you want the wide receiver 2 because the wide receiver 1 draws the best defensive players. It's 1,000% true. It's a great point, Ronald. There goes Knox. I almost went Knox as well. Almost went Knox. I don't know why ESPN has him ranked so low. Almost went Knox there as well. I thought maybe he'd fall out there. But, yeah, tight end's just gone, so we're going to have another George Kittle team, which I'm fine with. And then looking at the available players, one of these guys will step up and become probably somewhat relevant, but we could get them off waivers throughout the season. There goes J.D. McKissick and James Robinson, Noah Fant. Robinson and Fant, 2 guys I would consider here at 126, but they are gonzo. And so we need to get another receiver here. Going receiver with this next pick. Jahan Dotson, Alec Pierce, some nice rookie receivers. Gronks have just got selected. For me, though, I'm going Tyler Boyd. It's my guy. I want him on my team. Give him to me. Derek Carr, Trey Lance off the board. Ronald, because when he broke his hand, it killed his total season stats. He hasn't had enough time to trust the projected stats. He's a lower because he's still a mystery. I thought he came back pretty nicely. I wish I could look at his stats, but it won't let me. Oh, I think maybe, what team is that? Man, that guy's got Mark Andrews and Dawson Knox. I mean, he still finished a top 12 tight end, although that means a lot. It's a lot different than a top 12 running back or receiver. Let's see. Why am I having trouble? So he missed. No, those are touchdowns. Where's points? Did he really wait, he didn't miss any time? I mean, look at the second half of the season. 14, 18, 19, 7, 9, 8, 0. I don't know, man. I think he's being kind of undervalued. But I get your point as well. Oh, gosh, I'm almost on the clock here. Saints defense, okay. McCole Hardman, MBS. So I got to go. This is not my team I'm looking at. I got to go running back for following this strategy. Man, I'm telling you, I really like this strategy. I'm going to go Tyler Algier here. I got no beef with that. Probably my favorite late round rookie running back. And then with this next selection, I'm going for Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick or George Pickens. No tight ends I'm in love with. Logan Thomas could come back, fully healthy and play well. Gerald Everett, potentially a kind of a sleeper guy with the Chargers. But really, you could list any of these guys as sleeper guys at tight end. So I'm happy with just George Kittle here. I almost just spilt tea all over myself. Sorry if that made a noise on the mic. That's probably very entertaining to watch on live stream. Yeah, I'm feeling good every time we do this strategy. What QBs are available? Kirk Cousins. I might go Kirk Cousins here. Never mind, he got auto-picked. Yeah, I would definitely consider Kirk Cousins at this point in the draft because I think he could still land Tim Patrick at 163. But just to follow suit with switching between running back receiver, we're going to pick Tim Patrick here. Then really, I think you just go best available player, whether it's Nyheim Hines, Darrell Henderson, Tua, Zach Wilson, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz. I don't think we need another receiver. If we did go receiver, probably Van Jefferson for me, since we still don't know where Odell is. Joshua Palmer, Rondale Moore. But we don't need another receiver. Running back, for me, it's Hines or Darrell Henderson. Maybe Gus Edwards or James White. Khalil Herbert, a nice handcuff as well. Tight end. There's just no one I would draft at tight end. Once again, I would see how these guys play out the first couple of weeks. I like Hayden Hurst as a sleeper. Uzama, Evan Ingram, Gerald Everett. I'm not crazy about David Njoku. There is some good buzz about him. Albert O's kind of dropped out of that current sleeper discussion since the NFL draft. So it looks like Henderson got drafted. Hines is available. Ronald's saying it's not Hines. I actually don't necessarily disagree. We could talk about Hines in a second. You could really go any route here. Isaiah Spiller. I mean, geez, it's just not pretty. Let's go Zach Wilson. Don't ask me why. Let's go Zach Wilson. And maybe all the buzz around the Jets comes true. I mean, going back to Nyheim Hines, which is I think at that point, it won't let me look at running backs. He just got selected. I don't really like how it does that. Oh, and they just signed Philip Lindsay to the Colts today. That's really the only NFL news we got today. Really, when you look at Hines's points per game, he had that big game against the Jets, and JT also went absolutely freaking crazy that game. Good game against Tennessee. Good game against Seattle. Keep in mind, Seattle was in the bottom 30 against the run last season. 8 points against Houston in the bottom 28 against the run last season. 7 against New England. That's actually impressive. But it's only 7 points. 6 against Tennessee. I guess he played decent against Tennessee last season. Overall, when you look at the points, yes, he gets involved in the passing game, but at the same time, not really to a crazy relevant value. And with the signing of Philip Lindsay, I don't consider Hines a handcuff at all. So, there was a lot of players you could go with there. You could argue that plenty of them were more valuable than Zach Wilson, but we're going with Zach Wilson tonight. Don't ask me why. All right, give me money Mac, and then we'll draft a defense. Jets are like the Mets. They always look great to start. They spend money, but they always fall apart. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, man. I mean, we could have gone a lot of directions there. It won't let me look at who's available at anything except for defense. But, yeah, I mean, Zach Wilson, you could literally probably pick any other QB there and have the same amount of offseason upside. Smokey, I'm back. Couldn't multitask because I'm at the gym, so I was drafting in between. Oh, you're good, bro. You're good. Keep grinding. Appreciate you drafting tonight, man. My guess is they signed Lindsey to be returner RB4. That seems to be his role for whatever reason since that breakout rookie season, then getting diminished in his sophomore season. All right. So at 187, we got to pick a defense. For me, I'm looking at the Pats, the Rams, the Chargers. I'd probably put the Chargers over the Rams. Steelers, even though their secondary wasn't great last season. There goes Steelers. I mean, that pass rush just filthy. I mean, yeah, Chargers are the Patriots all day long. At this point, I think the Chargers are more consistent. The Patriots are more consistent. The Chargers offer more potential upside. We picked the Patriots last draft. Let's pick the Chargers this draft. Either of them are great picks at that point. All right, so we'll take a look at this team, then we'll take a look at Smokey's team as well. I was sniped 3 times by that auto right before me. That's it's dangerous territory out there. All right, so we've been playing around with what I call the bounce back method. Generally, you want to go running back, receiver, running back, receiver, running back, receiver. Since we've started to smooth this out, we're letting the tight end fall to us and drafting a QB when necessary. With this draft, last draft we conducted, we went running back, receiver, right? With this draft, we decided to switch it up just slightly and go receiver, running back, and see how it turned out. All right, so receiver, we got JJ, Mike Evans, Hunter Renfrow, Brandon Ayuk, Tyler Boyd, Tim Patrick. In a 12-man league, I would be ecstatic with that receiver room. Absolutely ecstatic. You got 3 top 12 receivers, and then you got my 2 favorite late-round receivers in Tyler Boyd and Tim Patrick. Then you got Brandon Ayuk, who presents a lot of upside going into his junior year, especially if Debo's not in the picture. Even if Debo is in the picture, still a solid wide receiver 2 on a dynamic offense. Running back turned out a little bit thinner overall, which is what you would expect, going receiver first in the first round over running back. So we got James Conner as our RB1. You guys know I have a love affair with James Conner. Eli Mitchell's our RB2. Then we got A.J. Dillon, Melvin Gordon, and Tyler Algier. 5 running backs. It's not flashy, it's not sexy, but those running backs could absolutely get you through. God forbid anything happens to Javonte Williams, you got an RB1. I think Tyler Algier is my favorite rookie running back, especially at the price you pay for him. Mitchell, we talked about, we have maybe some slight concern about. A.J. Dillon, I love where we got A.J. Dillon. I mean, a 12-man draft, we got Jefferson, Connor, Evans, Mitchell, Kittle, Renfrow before we got A.J. Dillon. Love that value. Got no beef with that. So I do think that this running back room, we expected it to be a little bit weaker in comparison to the receiver position. And I still think it turned out pretty damn good, for what it was. So really, for this roster, we'd probably be flexing a receiver and starting 2 running backs. Some weeks maybe flexing A.J. Dillon. So I actually don't really mind that. Tight end, we got George Kittle. Like I said, I prefer to draft a second tight end with George Kittle just with the time he missed last season. At the same time, if you own George Kittle and he's healthy, you're starting him because you can't not start George Kittle. If he does miss time, we'd have to look to the waiver wire early because that's just how it works with tight ends. You're going to find those 2 or 3, 4 tight ends that emerge off the waiver wire probably pretty early in the season. So outside of that, it's not going to be a consistent tight end for you. So I'm fine with George Kittle coming out of a draft as my only tight end. I didn't realize we got Mitchell, Kittle, and Ayuk. So we got a lot of pieces of the Niners there. And then, we got Russie Wilson, Melvin Gordon, and Tim Patrick. We got Money Mac and, Tyler Boyd. That's a pretty dynamic duo right there too. But some pieces of the Niners, some pieces of the Broncos here. So Russell Wilson's our QB. I'm perfectly fine with that. And how did I forget? We got Zach Wilson on this team too, baby. So we got a QB2 to Russell Wilson if that injury pops up again. Chargers defense, some nice upside. Could have gone Patriots there. probably more consistent. Then we got Money Mac, beautiful kicker. I thought this was a good team. I maybe liked the last team where we went RB first a little bit more, but I still like this team a lot. I love this method. I don't know, man. This might be my method moving into the season. We're gonna have a lot to think about, but we're gonna do about 500 more mock drafts before the regular season starts and before we're doing real drafts anyways. So appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Had a great stream. Had a blast. Thought these were two really, really solid drafts. Appreciate you guys, everyone who hung out tonight. Ronald, it's more an obsession. I gotta get a sip of water. It's more an obsession with Connor. Connor doesn't love you back. It's not an affair. That's fair. That's fair, bro. Smokey, that's a great team. I appreciate it, man. You hit a good draft as well. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. Had a blast tonight. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. sharp, 8 p.m. Eastern time, subscriber mock draft. Last I checked, we had 2 open spots. They might be filled by now. Steve and I will both be on 8 p.m. sharp. Subscriber mock draft, always the best night of the week. Make sure to come out, hang out, even if you're not drafting. Talk some fantasy. Going to be a good night, as always. Always a good turnout when we do the subscriber mock draft. So, great stream tonight. Thank you guys so much, everyone who stopped by and hung out. Smoke the Cat, Ronald, Spencer with the one comment in the live chat, Mr. Sarcastic, Prey, Derek, Justin, and everyone else who stopped by and hung out tonight. Appreciate you guys. And, love you guys. Love this channel. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. I always do these very long outros. I don't know. It's just me. It's how I do. And you guys know what to do, baby. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Come join the Catch fam on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Discord link is in the description down below. Completely free to join. Of course, if you play Underdog Fantasy, you can now double your first deposit up to $100 with promo code the Catch. Promo link in the description down below. We will be running best ball drafts Friday night as well. Cannot wait for that. And that'll do it. Ronald, it's never open right before. That's true. Mr. Sarcastic, thanks for the mock. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And I got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And peace.